Brian has been a member of Grace Chapel since the warehouse. He was baptized by Kurt Picker, and he was discipled by Kurt and Russ Schoper. He has lived in this area since 1996, I believe. Came here with his mother, single mother raising Brian. Mom went into the hospital with an extremely high blood sugar, according to doctor's labs. She was diagnosed there in the ER with stage 4 pancreatic cancer that had metastasized. And that was December. She passed away in December 2 years ago. So immediately Brian no longer has a house in which to live. They were renting the house that they were in. He was able to stay there for about a month. And then we found families amongst the church that could take him in for a week or two, or Dave and Julie Merritt took him in for almost 3 months. But then in the process, we had close to 15 people on what we refer to as Team Brian, looking for how to get him assistance. We went to the state, we figured out that process, we did a lot of learning, the 15 of us. We had at one point weekly Zoom calls. We long story short, we put in a waiver process. We're told that he has been funded for residential. We're at the point of the process now where they're looking for the profile they've created on him, a clinical profile, nursing profile, sociological profile, and some others, psychological, to see what type of home would be best for him. A large group home, a small group home, he being the only one in the group, where they're located, and if there's availability, and if he is compatible personality with the current residents. So that's the process we're in now. We're waiting to hear from the coordinator with a short list of places from which to choose. When any of the 3 of the assessors asked him, "Where are you looking to live?" he blurted out, "Grace Chapel Church Christ." So we gave them this physical address, somewhere within driving distance of here. 2 of them voiced amazement that 15 people from church would work this hard for someone who's not a blood relative. They were very impressed with that. So his life has been a witness all along this process. John and Kathy Stroop were able to find a nursing rehab facility up in Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, just a few miles south of Chattanooga, where his sister lives, that had a bed available and were willing to take him in for a short term. Short term in their parlance is a handful of years. So we went up there. He's been there ever since. So now come July the 15th, it will be 2 years that he's been up there. He didn't want to be there. He's telling everybody there that I'm here short term, I'm here short term. You know. Created some behavioral issues. He gets very, very anxious. He's an anxious individual. He's not a patient individual. But over the time, he and I speak on the phone almost every night. Pretty much every night. Rare it is that we don't. So we have a half hour to an hour of pastoral counseling nightly. And we go through the scriptures. What does the Bible say about this, Brian? What does the Bible say about this? He's come to learn a few scriptures. Philippians, where you are to think more highly of others than you are of yourself. He's learned in James, where it says, obey God, stand up to the devil, and he will flee. And he's come to realize that trusting God is a difficult thing to do, but that we must do it. God has all the answers, we don't. God has all the information to make the best decision, we don't. And there's one scripture that we share Psalms 27, 13 and 14. I am still confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and take heart, and wait for the Lord. And he's learned another one. Isaiah 30, and it's verse 18. Yet the Lord longs to be gracious to you. He rises to show you compassion. For the Lord is a God of justice. Blessed are all who wait for him. He's concluded that God knows what's best for us and wants to give it to us. We just have to wait on it. And waiting takes time. When he starts to interject himself in the process of trying to speed up the waiver, it's like, Brian, time out. You're taking responsibility that God never intended you to have. He's taking care of this for you. Wait on him.
Okay. It's been 2 years ago that I went to Porto, and the toughest part is being around Grace Chapel family, being in church in person. I watch it online, but it's kind of hard for me to be around people. And that's what I miss the most about Grace Chapel, is not being around the church family.
Okay. And like, what about for you personally? Just like on those hard days, is that you're just sitting in your room thinking like, oh, I wish I could be at church?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. To get through the hard times, I prayed, and sometimes it helped, and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah.
So, the best way to get over things like that is to pray hard and pray every day, and maybe it will help you understand what God's purpose is really for you.
Okay. Have you found a purpose, like that, for you being at Fort Oglethorpe?
Yeah, I found the purpose by showing God's love to all the residents at Pruitt Health.
Okay, let's talk about that a little bit more. What kind of things do you do?
By showing God's love and trying to be nice to them and try to help them understand that I'm there to help, and if they ever need to talk to somebody, I would always be there for them.
Okay.
The tough things that I dealt with was being away and not being around people that I love and care about, and around church family members, and just fitting into where things are hard and the best thing about Pruitt Health is that I get fed every day, I get clean clothes, and the bed is made every day where I don't have to make the bed and everything like that. So that's the best thing about it.
Maid service?
Yeah, maid service.
When you first got here, in your mind, how long did you think you would be here?
I thought I would be here for maybe 6 months.
Okay.
About that. The longest thing I meant to be around was 6 months. That's what I felt like I would only be here for, but it ended up being 2 years.
Okay. And at this point, how much longer do you think it'll be?
I don't have no clue of how much longer it would be, because what I'm thinking is hopefully by my birthday I could be in a group home, but you're just praying that happens.
Okay. And how can people at Grace Chapel support you and encourage you?
By maybe coming to visit me and sending letters or cards or encouragement every day so I can have the encouragement. Like letters, cards, or any visits would be helpful.